Alrighty. Now, earlier I was explaining about your cells, the membrane around the outside, which is your transmitter and receiver. Now, at the same time, your brain is a replication of that cell. You'll have your brain all inside, and then you have your skull, and then just under the skull, between the skull and the brain, is a membrane. And that membrane is your transmitter and receiver. Now, all your thoughts, in the past you thought they're contained and stay inside yourself. Well, they don't. This transmitter and receiver sends your signals miles up to over 50 metres and more outside of your body, just your thoughts.
Is that why the Aborigines used to know they could go to someone from kilometres away? You know, when they talk about...
Just knowing where they are. It's all perception. Have you ever walked down the street, especially as a female, because you have a high self-protective instinct, especially against men, okay, you've ever walked down the street and someone's coming towards you and all of a sudden you go, oh, there's something creepy about him or them or whatever, whether it was your visual perception or not, but something that is that vibration travelling beyond your body, meeting up with their vibration. Okay, now we have waves, sympathetic and non-sympathetic waves, all right? When your waves are travelling up and down and you meet someone whose waves are travelling at the same rate, and when they meet, you encourage and empower each other and work as a positive together. When you have an opposing wave and they meet, you have and restriction and rejection, and that's your wave meeting their vibration and your judgment going on the protection level. Now, we have a meter. In the past we had a encephalograph. An encephalograph was electrodes all plugged in, touching your skin, and could read the wave patterns and the thought patterns of your brain and what you were thinking. Now they have a magno-encephalograph. That doesn't even touch you. It reads your waves, thoughts, feelings, everything, and it doesn't even touch you. And that's how they then proved that your thoughts are not contained within your body, but they are influencing, just like this receiver, everything comes in and touches that cell, influences the inside of that cell, how it will live, how it will die, and all the rest of it. Now the difference is when your brain perceives something, it then is directing your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which is going to give you either adrenaline to run and fight or flight, or it's going to give you love drugs. All right? Yes.
So based on your awareness of all of this, you can actually control the waves that you disperse out. Is that right? Yeah.
Slowly, yes, with a lot of practice. Yep, yeah. And it all just comes to keeping yourself calm. Because your inner tension is a manifestation of your vibration. All right? The more relaxed you are, the more positive the vibration, and the higher the vibration, and the more attractive it is, and the further it goes and all that. And that's why when you're negative, it just goes nowhere but down to the ground, and you're going nowhere. It's not travelling.
If you don't like someone, I mean, you haven't even met them, you look at them and say, I don't like you because you're wearing glasses. I'm only just kidding, got glasses too. But I can give up vibes to you, negative negative vibes that you're saying.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
and then she'll give me negative. She can give
Yeah.
me negative vibes.
As soon as you
Yeah,
start putting up walls,
they're going
you're going to
somewhere else.
combat and get walls,
So,
right?
Yeah. So if I
But
give out love, saying, "Oh, you think that you're such a nice person," and I can get that love
yeah. Now look,
back.
giving the love out consciously, you know, like just walking around purposely just thinking, oh, I'm going to just be positive and positive and positive, it just doesn't work. It'll last, it'll do it, it'll happen, it'll last for a freaking afternoon and then you'll be dead. You'll be flat for the rest of the day or...
It's naturally reflecting your inner.
Yeah,
Then it doesn't come across cheesy or weird because
yeah,
it's who you are.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
radiating that.
Yep, yep, yeah. Now, the point that we got to earlier when you asked is, how do we do it? How do we chip away at that to create a match for the consciousness? We've got to chip away at this subconscious. Now, the trick is recognition.
That's in the course.
That's in the course. How are we going to do it? Yeah, yeah. How we're going to do it is in the course. But what it's about is recognizing every time you activate judgment. When you hear someone say something and you go to react, you must go, hang on, I'm reacting. Step back, go, acknowledge. Just by acknowledgement of the reaction has weakened the neurite connection in your brain, the pathways, okay? That's what you've done, is you, over your whole life, all your beliefs have created pathways. And then as you continually keep believing that, they join together and then they're cemented. Now you can't think any other way but that pathway. So now what we're going to do is every time that you can possibly, as I was saying earlier, you will try it, you will fail. You will get it one time, you will get it 2 times, you will get it 3 times, then you'll forget and you'll fuck it up and you'll forget it and you'll have a bitch fight with your partner and you'll go back to it, and then the next time you will try it again. There is no failing. Every time you recognize it, you're one step further in breaking one more chain. You don't know how many chains you've got. I don't know how many chains you've got. That's your job. And you've got to work on yourself. And this is why I make you pay. Because you've got to get motivated. And when you do it, then I'll give you your money back. But... Now, the point is, how you're going to chip away at that is, when you recognize that you've reacted, you're going to step back and you're going to go, I'm going to teach you how to connect, I'm going to bring up emotions, and you're going to go, love, thanks, and gratitude that I recognize that, and thank you, universe, for that recognition, and love yourself and replace that emotion with the one of the 3. Swap out that emotion that you felt with the love, thanks, and gratitude of realization that you are in control now.
Love, the 3 things are?
Love, thanks, and gratitude. That's only 3 emotions that consciousness has. Everything else is your past and is a lie.
So if somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, you should be doing this and this and this," so you get a positive feeling from the other person. You could say, "What can I
You
say?"
could say, oh, thank you for that. That's
Thank
okay.
you for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take it on
Board.
but I'll do my own.
Yeah. What you've got to accept...
But you can just say thank you for that, even if you think
Even though you think that
she's a stupid F.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's coming from a judgment. You've judged her. You've used your past to create a picture.
She said something very nice.
Yeah, yeah. Now you remember, there is nothing nasty.
yeah, you don't judge her.
Don't worry about what they say. Whatever anyone says in this world is irrelevant.
What about boundaries?
Boundaries, they're yours.
They're different. Boundaries different.
Yeah, yeah, we'll get into that because that's a whole nother level of different things. Yeah. Yeah. Look, there's a million sayings, you know, sticks and stones will break my bones, water off a duck's back, all those things. But what we got to do is apply them. They're all just great thoughts and ideas, but this is application, what we need. And we got to stop you from judging. And all of those things, all those negative things come from judgment. And it's a false perception. Remember that. That's what you need to remember.
Chris, Inga was just saying it still hurts you, but I'm just saying it's your perception. And
Yeah,
you're
it still hurts because you're still allowing it to hurt. As much as that hurts, that you are not still in control because you are allowing to hurt. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that. So, like, I still, as much work as I've done, I still feel, because I'm still human, I still have a reactionary brain. Just because I've retrained 99% of it, I still haven't finished. I'm on a daily journey every day. Oh, yeah. This journey doesn't stop, okay?
Until we go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to stop in this life. I'll come back as the next one and I'll start it again, you know. So, if I come back. Yeah. Why not? You know, if you next time you could come back and knew half of what you knew this time and then do it properly. I tell you what, because I've gotten to 50 and now I am planning to live for another 60 years minimum because I want to enjoy what I know now and this is free.
You are not getting that information when you come back again. You're going to come back as dumb as ever.
Do you know what? There is a story and there's a man out there who he has proven that he is Nikola Tesla reincarnated and he remembers everything of himself as Nikola Tesla. He even has, yes, there's very few of them, right? But he has even been interviewed by the governments all of America, and the guy who took all of Nikola Tesla's drawings from his house and he said, if you think you're Nikola Tesla reincarnated, tell me one of his inventions. And he turns around and he goes, which one do you want to know? And he goes, how about I'll tell you about my particle rail gun? And he goes, you know about that? And he goes, I fucking invented it. What are you on about? And he drew the whole entire plan. He goes, no one's ever seen it. How did you do it? He goes, I told you, I'm Nikola Tesla. He goes, I knew when I was 3, when he was born, and he looked down at his feet and he said, damn, I've got to grow up before I can do all this again.
That's cool. But they actually say when you've got your past lives in your cells as well because of the nuclear explosion of the...
Are you all aware that this body is a vehicle and that we are not our body and we are not our mind? We are a separate light entity operating in this body. Our thoughts are not contained from within. Our information doesn't come from within. It's stored in the universe, in everything around us. There is no... You think there's a separation between you and me, that wall, and you and you? There is no distance between any of us. There's an agreed view that there is space. But there is no space. There is no void of matter. Everything is full. And that's why everything is connected. Because you do this, you can feel that air. Yeah. All right? That's there. All right? So there is no space between you and me. My cells are racing. This cell, even though it looks solid, it's moving. All right, it's all alive, it's all energy, and it's all connected. Now I can take an atom particle, right? I can split that atom, and I can, in a vacuum, take that half of that atom 10,000 kilometers away and have it stored. And if I rotate this one, that one rotates. But they've been split apart. but they're still connected. There is no distance. Everything just is. Well, that's pretty deep. So
Question time.
Yeah.
That's all. We've got
It's like with tuning forks. You can make a tuning fork go and it will vibrate and have another one and you do nothing to it but it will start to vibrate
yeah,
without it touching.
sympathetic frequency. It will pick up the resonance. Exactly. Yep. Because everything is connected. There is no space. Yes.
Can you block people wear crystals and different types of objects for, I don't know, for their own, what they class as energy? Is that got anything to do with?
Well, look, I think half of it. Look, crystals are a absorber of energy. Yes, they are. They contain electricity. They can, if you put a crystal in the correct solution, it's a battery. All right. That's the Egyptian Angrok. Was it well, the pyramids, they found crystals and solutions, crystalline, what's it?
Always wearing one, and
Yeah.
just in my experience, an experience I had was that I went to point at someone.
Oh, yeah, and they don't like you touching them.
Yeah, good
Can I,
point.
can I just add to that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, it's all again about your perception
And
there,
belief.
right? And how you think that's going to protect you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. You've heard that a crystal's going to protect you from the pregnancies or the baddies out there.
So you put your belief and intentions and your energy into that. So you create your future.
So that person though, like when I'm suggesting that that's a really unbelievable
Oh,
pendant, is just you're just like.
yeah, yeah.
So if you think about what Chris said before about the waves, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so if you come up to someone and your waves are a certain resonance, and that person's not resonating with it, they might be really protective of
Mm-hmm.
something.
You don't want them
Or
to touch
even-
it.
Yeah.
That's their intention, right? That's their belief, and you go to touch their belief, you're going to put your energy on their belief, and that might have ruined their. I use crystals. I wouldn't be that protective because my belief is it can clear whatever it needs to clear.
Yeah.
But some people aren't there yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See how it's all tied into your emotional belief.
So it's that imprint of your picture, whether it's your plan or whether it's your belief of what a name means or a crystal means or whatever. That's your intention. And so whoever's holding on to that is going to come from that space. And it's up to you to not process that negatively.
Yeah,
It's not about you.
I
it's
found
about
it
them.
really like, whoa, okay.
Confronting, yeah. Because you've read their wall. They've gone boof, and they've given you, they've projected their intention. And that is stay away, right? That's their defense mechanism. That's their belief. They're in fear, right? That's why they're so reactive. Yeah, and their life is limited. Their now whole control, their whole belief is hiding. Their strength is hiding behind a crystal.
Yeah, because I don't believe in myself. So
Exactly.
hold the crystal there.
Yeah.
But you can't touch the crystal because
Yep.
then you're going to affect it. So, it's like that clenched thing again.
Yeah.
I had that once when I asked
Some of us need more people to help us get through life.
and I was like,
All right.
And
weird. And then in processing,
so
you
tell
realise
people
that
what
that's
does
them.
fear do to you?
It's not you. Yeah.
Can you explain that?
Uh,
What fear does to the physical body?
Oh, well, yeah. Besides, okay, on the fear, once those cells have been pushed from, remember we created the anxiety, cortisols, or everything that squashes your cells from your gut out to the periphery and to the back of your brain. So now you're for fight and flight, and now you're not in growth mode or protection mode. You've got no cellular growth. Now, the point being, when you were born, all of us, we contain 98% of all bacteria, funguses, viruses, and diseases. All right, we're born with them all. But they are opportunistic organisms, which means they only work and come and have ability if you give them opportunity. Now, how you give them opportunity? Texter. You're,
Metallized bird, I think.
yeah.
The water.
They just lie dormant, don't they? And they
These are brand new, yeah. Just come out of the packet today. So you've got your immune.
Water. And dip it in the water.
they dry out. They just dry out.
Okay, imagine I've just written, we've got our immune system. All right? Now, your immune system is set here. Now, every day, you're growing cells and cells are dying. You've been growing and dying since the day you were born, and you will grow and die until the day you die. Every 3 days, your gut cells replace themselves. You have a new stomach lining every 3 days. Yeah. Heart is X amount of years. I forget the exact data. Yeah, I thought it was about 10. Yeah. Different organs all have different things. Now, so those cells are living and replacing and dying each day, controlled by the mitochondria that I was saying that's inside the cell, right, which gives a message, a inflammatory response message, a stressor. It's called apoptosis, which is a natural cell death communication, all right? So those cells are living and dying every day. Now, while you are not stressed, those cells are in growth mode, all right? While you're in love mode as a kid, you are full of vitality and love and health, and you are just hammering, right? Now, that immune system is at full flight. Now you start stressing. So now, all of a sudden, what's happening is your cells are not. Remember, they can only go in one direction at a time, forwards or backwards, towards toxins, or away from toxin, and towards nutrient. So while you're in fight and flight, where are your cells going? Toxins, right? So they're not. It's not in immune mode. It's not in growth mode, is it? So now your cells are not replacing themselves. Now.
The toxins cause inflammation, which is
Cancer.
pain.
Pain.
And signals, and messages. That's why it's just pain is just the message. That's all it is. It's just a message. Yeah. And now you've ever noticed that you can get a pain, you rub it, and then it moves. They fucking run around. And it's like, I'm chasing that damn thing. How did that go? Because it's not fixed. It's only a message. It's not real. It's a perception of something going on. But we feel it in a place, and it feels like it is there. Well, that's because the tissues have all tightened up now, and they are locked and lumpy, and now you've got lack of blood flow, and now you've got more inflammation and lactic acid, right? And that creates more pain and signals, and it's just a cyclical behaviour, okay? So the trick is, what we do is de-stress you, relax you, give it a bit of a rub and massage, but with emotion intent, right? I can touch my finger on your body and I'll throw an emotion straight down it, and I'll rip that knot straight out of your body and disperse it just with my intention. And you can do that on yourself, and I do it all the time now. I couldn't do it a couple of years ago.
But what if you go and stub your toe? You physically hit something.
Yeah, that's okay. That's, yeah, okay, that's a physical pain. That's a message. That's going to subside. Any bruising, that's inflammation. It will heal. That's different to emotional pain or.
I want to say though that I've stubbed my toe, and then I've stubbed my toe and cried and gotten really upset over it and felt like an idiot because I was not in a good place emotionally. So it just brings it straight to the forefront. But then I stubbed it and go, I'll be right. Give it a little rub and move on. Same stub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, we'll get back to the immune. So we've now, because we're stressing and we're forcing all those cells to not be in growth mode. So now the cells are not being replaced at the correct rate. So all of a sudden, okay, here's your diseases that we were all born with. This was your immune system. Now it's depleting slowly, slowly, slowly. You don't notice it. You're smacking in a bit of alcohol, a bit of drugs, a bit of this, bit of that. I'm avoiding my emotions. I'm doing this. And so I'm just avoiding love, thanks, and gratitude that's going to bring this up. And then all of a sudden, fungus turns up. Now I've got tinea, I got this, or I've got a funny thing going on or something. That's an indication of an imbalance, of your cells are not replacing themselves at the right time and your illness is starting. Okay? So the only way to reverse it is get back into love. You can get back into no growth mode, which is just the nocebo that I was talking about, which is just having no emotion whatsoever. So we've got to get you back down to no stress, to zero mode, and then bring you up to love, thanks, and gratitude. And then we've got direction of growth and rebuild and health. And once you start it all moving, yeah, it snowballs. Okay. So now, was there anything you wanted to talk about, Michelle, with your lymphatic drainage stuff or anything? Yeah. Well, other than that, basically, yeah, what we're really wanting you to do now is work out whether you are ready to commit yourselves to yourself. Really, it's not to me, because I'm just the vehicle here to try and help you get on track and tap your bum along in the right direction. That's pretty much, you've got to do the work, but I'm going to lay out in my boot camp repetition like you've never had, but it's up to your own pace. You're going to do it at your own pace. There is no failing, so do not beat yourself up if you do all of this stuff, because there is no right or wrong. Okay, I will, if you start the boot camp thing, we'll just go over little bits of data, not very much of it, but mainly, a few positive things, any questions you want to answer, ask, and then we'll just really go over how to connect, what emotions how to bring it, some breathing techniques. We'll go over even along the lines. I've done stuff like Wim Hof techniques of breathing, which we will teach you how to release T1 and B1 cells from your marrow, which will reset your immune system. Now, some of these breathing techniques are pretty freaky. They're pretty psychedelic once you get in there. It's a form of hypoxia, apoxias, and all sorts of poxias. Yeah, there's like 3 different things. Yeah, it's freaky. But it's absolutely awesome. It's highly energizing. It will alkali your blood in 3 to 5 minutes, which will remove toxins, arthritis, inflammation. All right, and that's the things. And these techniques are accessing the primary functions that we had before we had this thing called the voice. It was primary communication of the earliest man. Okay, there's 3 sounds. Ooh, and Okay, they're 3 sounds, not using the tongue. Is a vibration of this chakra. Ooh is your heart chakra, and is the head chakra. And then all communication was from there. And it communicates with your body, the universe, and everything around us. All right? It's part of the 528, 427, 423 hertzy frequencies. And then words were invented in between. And then we got separated from a singularity to a duality and started looking outside of ourselves to heal ourselves. And if you want to come into the future, we need to go back to the singularity and non-judgment all inside. And that's the way of the future is going to be, because the world, the old paradigm is collapsing. It's all over, guys. That way, everyone who stays in that realm is farm fodder. That's their future. Okay? So you've been brought here because you've already picked up on a vibration that you need to move and change. Your direction is not conducive, or you're not happy with your paradigm, and we're going to work on that. Okay. Thank you.
Wonderful, Chris. Wonderful, Chris. Has that been on? No. Who knows? Okay. Any questions about anything? Throw it at us.
What's it involve? Okay. We've got, I'm starting it as 4 days to start with, 1 day a week for 1 hour. Just so we don't overload you. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Nah, it's all good. That's why they would.
What day is our first boot camp?
It's just it's all over there. It's in 2 weeks. It starts on Monday.
I've got some information up on the windowsill
So,
there.
yep. And we're doing another introduction every 4 weeks. We're going to do
Another introduction. So if you've got
so
any
friends
or someone who,
that you want to help, to get them in a better place.
yeah. So what's involved? What I will want you to do, if you all come, is like this young lady here has brought herself a bit of a book. It just invests you and your mind into it. Now, I want that as a journal to keep you, write your little notes down.
Focused.
And to focus, and just to remind you of the things to do to yourself on a daily basis and as many times a day. So, and if you can, if you've got a yoga mat or something or some cushions, bring it, because we're going to
We'll be
do
doing
some,
them here.
yeah, until this venue gets too small, then I've got another venue organised. But then basically what I want, we'll do connecting. So we'll get you nice and comfy, relaxed, warm, and
So is it, it's a structured, when I say structured.
yeah, as structured
Yeah.
as I can make it
Yeah.
to individual. I will try and get you to go within yourself, relax yourself,
Release.
right? Just see what you can feel inside yourself, what levels and things, how much you can relax different parts and feel your connection. And then we'll get into creating, bringing up an emotion. Now, because what I wanted to quickly tell you is on your heart, there is 40,000 neurite cells, sensory neurite cells. These are brain cells.
Good brain.
It's got its own brain. Now these brain clusters are in specific points on the heart that control the valves, ins and outs, and emotion of the heart. Now that that brain connects to your brain, your gut brain, and the other brains. What's your other organ brains? Like well, you got your gut brain and
Heart brain.
yeah,
Heart and brain. You got 3 brains, yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, so it connects with them all,
Yeah.
with emotion and the release of different chemicals. But yeah, the main thing is I will teach you to connect.
Yeah.
Bring up a chosen emotion. You will feel this thing moving. And I will teach you how to breathe and bring it up, and then push it into your head, and then you can move it around in there. Touch your pineal gland. We'll get you releasing things like DMT. I will have you sitting there going like this, convulsing in ecstasy.
Yeah.
From here above.
Yeah.
Full body orgasms. Now, I'm going to quickly do a demonstration, though I did say it earlier, of connecting to my body, okay? Some of you have seen this thing. Now, I'm a hairy little sucker, so this is easy for me to see. But if I stripped off, you will see this happens over my whole body, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is consciously I'm going to connect straight to my heart. I'm just going to bring up one of the 3 emotions, love, thanks or gratitude. My body doesn't care which one. It's so trained now. it just instantly happens, right? And we'll bring up that emotion. I will do a bit of a breath, and I'll flow the universe energy up, or my energy, straight up through me and send it to every cell in my body, because I will give those 42 trillion cells individually, I'm going to love them, each one, right? And sending that emotion, they will respond. And then I can turn it off, and then I'll turn it on, and then I can turn it off. Alright? And this is what the control I'm talking about, and how it will work on every part of your body. Okay, now you ready? See my arms. This will happen instantly. Alright? Now that's only half. Alright.
Yeah.
You ready? Now turn it up. All I'm doing is connecting myself and draining out the energy. And just feel it flowing straight out of me. It takes a few minutes because I'm like a battery, and I've just loaded every friggin' cell with energy.
And we can all do that. I do
Alright.
that. Yeah.
You ready? Love. Okay. And if I keep going with this, I'll bring this up, man, I will burst into tears. Just the love that I can flow up through my whole body.
Oh, shake.
Alright?
Can anyone feel it? Any feel it?
Now there's a lady here who just walked in earlier. Now this young lady here is, she's very susceptible to EMFs, which is electromagnetic fields. Alrighty? Now, several weeks ago, she's walked into my salon, and the second she comes in, she gets headaches from the Wi-Fi or this or that. Now, I don't usually do this sort of thing, but I touched her shoulders, and I touched with one hand on the left side, and out of nowhere, I tried to connect basically and just sort of to see what was going on, and I just got this rush through me, out of control, of there was issues, pain, whatever, family. I didn't enter into it because it's not my place. I went, oh, this is not mine. And then I touched her other side on the shoulder, and there's some really ugly family something, right? And then I just was filled with emotion and dizziness, and I was quite teary on edge. And then I was then trying to do her hair, but then I couldn't focus, right? I then connected. I was given a message. I just got to go outside because I couldn't focus now. I was like, and so I've then gone to connect, and usually I would just give up and let go everything up and out, right? And I'm there, and I'm trying to give, letting go, and whoa, this is just not going. No, something odd here, and it just would not come out of me. And next minute I go, oh, okay, and I just got this message. I had to touch the ground. And I just bent over, and out it came. Everything just drained straight out of me into the ground. And I was like, oh, okay. And I walked back inside, and she turned around, she goes, what were you doing? And I just said, I don't know, but whatever you had, it wasn't mine, and I needed to get rid of it, right? And I said, and I went outside, and I went to get rid of it, and it wouldn't go. And I said, and then I got a message to touch the ground. And then she said, you would not believe it, but when you did all this, I was released, felt at ease. You can actually ask her what she really felt, but then the only way she can get rid of all the pain of their EMF is decharged by touching the ground. Yeah. And so everything that I'd been trying to do, how I would usually get rid of my own stuff, is up and out. But this wasn't mine. But I've never tried to take on other people's stuff. And so, for some reason, the message I felt, and that's what I'll teach you, is when you get connected, you start to listen to your body. It sort of gives you messages, just direction, and you just got to trust it and let it go and just do it. Now, like, I do some crazy, when you put your hands together, you don't realise what that actually does, right? It's actually marrying your left and right brain hemispheres together. When you go home of a night after a full day's work, what do? Brush your legs. What is that? That actually, subconsciously, it marries the left and right brain together. Creates calm. If I lift this arm up and do that, my left brain is operating my right arm. My right brain is operating my left arm. If I do that, I fucking swap. So, what you do is now you go like this, you concentrate, and now you do that. Now your brain doesn't know what side to operate it, now it's married together. It centralises itself. Now you can help calm yourself. Centering. Okay? Flow of energy. And breath, your spine is a piezoelectrical mechanism. You know what a piezoelectrical is? Barbecue lighter. Ka-tink, ka-tink, ka-tink. There's a crystal in there. The watch that you shake and move, it's a piezo crystal. When you shake that crystal, it gets hammered, and that creates electricity. The spine is a piezoelectrical thing. You breathe, constricts the muscles up the spine, flows the electricity up from the chakras through everything.
Just have to remember that everything's connected, really. We're not separate, you know.
Remember the
You've got 2 minutes.
Spider-Man movie with the Sandman? You ever seen that? Where, you know, you hit him and he breaks apart into 1,000 parts and then comes back?
Yeah.
Well, that's you. You're the Sandman.
Yeah.
We're at 60 trillion cells. Each one is a sympathetic, parasitic organism living together in harmony. Alright? Because inside a cell is the mitochondria, and that can't live without the cell. They're two animals. Cell is a house, mitochondria is the living information, right, that keeps them all alive.
Okay, great. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. We've gone over time by 10 minutes, but thank you all for coming. I hope you got something out of it. Chris and I will be around for the next 20 minutes, half an hour if you want to have a chat. Over on the window still is information. We'd like you to fill out feedback form.